grandparents.
I don't know. They did.
So we have Richard Nines right here. He's the school record holder in the
Yeah. Yeah.
We have Rich Neiman.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Dave Bernstein and
Neil.
Yeah.
I wanted to first of all wish you best of luck tomorrow, especially the ones racing. And we ran 50 years ago. We won the city championship at that time. I don't know if you folks can see. So I have this. This was from the race. It shows the results, and maybe you can see that. But it shows Monroe number 1, 45 points. Number 2 was Sylmar, 48. Only 3 points difference.
they were so mad at us.
You're always your fifth guy,
9
sixth
minutes,
runner.
15 minutes?
So
That's
I wanted to mention that because you may not think it's important when you're running that race, but it can be a matter of a few seconds. When I looked at this, it reminded me that in that race, Richard was way ahead when we came to the last half mile, Toots Peak. No chance of catching him. Gerardo Conchola, he was pretty far ahead of me. Also, not much chance of catching him. But the three of us were together, Bernstein, Bitterly, Casillas. And I remember before coming up that Toots Peak, somebody said, I think it was Coach Balzarette, said, Bernstein, you got to beat those guys. And I was exhausted. And I figured, oh, you know, 3rd, 4th, 5th place, whatever. But I really tried to dig deep and was able to beat those guys. Turns out if Casillas had beaten me and Bitterly had beaten me, Sylmar would have been the winner.
1 point.
Yeah, they would have won by 1 point. So none of us really knew that, and you may not know that, but we're in the race. You know, especially the latter parts, you're tired, you want to do your best, you're in a race with the people around you, and who knows, it could make a difference. It could make a difference for your team, you know, getting a better place. So anyway, best of luck, and if you feel a bit nervous, that's adrenaline, that's energy, like horses. Horses are in the chute, ready for the race, they're bumping around, they're not nervous, they just got a lot of energy, they're excited because they want to run. So that's excitement, and use that tomorrow to do your best.
Yeah.
Okay? Best of luck.
Yeah.
I spoke for everybody.
So I'll start because I'm the oldest here. We'd come out to the grass, usually over there, and we'd stretch, and Coach would inspire us, as he always would, and then we'd do some wind sprints, either there or over here. Then we would jog over to the VA hospital, and then we'd do loops inside the hospital and all sorts of stuff there, and then run back, a few wind sprints, and then he would inspire us a bit more, and then he would look at me and said, Bernstein, and he'd just shake his head. He didn't know what to say because I was a prankster and a jokester, and I would always do things he didn't exactly say, but that was good. And he was a great inspiration. He certainly was. Coach Balzarette.
So our training was a little bit different from Neil's. Balzarette changed things up a little bit, but we would do the same thing. We would start over on the baseball field and line up, take roll, do static stretching. And now the kind of big deal is dynamic stretching. It has been for a long time. And then we would run up Woodley Hill, up to the Lassen Gate, inside the gate, and then we had 4 basic training loops up there. So there's like a nursing home on that northwest corner of the VA property where our loops were. So we had a large loop, a small loop, down the little tree and back, and then Coach Balzarette got creative and set up a new route that was kind of a version of down the little tree and back with a large loop that we called the Bernstein Special, named after him. And so David had the record for down to the little tree and back, but I had the record for the Bernstein Special. So we were running, what did you say, 6-8 miles a day, 5 days a week?
Probably, I don't remember exactly, but
Yeah. So we had hard workouts Monday and Tuesday. We kind of tapered a little on Wednesday, raced on Thursday, and then Friday was our toughest workout of the week. And then we ran on the weekends, and Coach Balzeret had us keep a journal on what our weekend mileage was. And in 10th grade, my goal was to try to get a 40-mile weekend in. And the closest I think I ever got was 36. But that's 36 miles and 4 runs in 2 days. And by Sunday night, I was hammered. And then the summer before we won the city meet, though, Dave and John Lancaster, who was our third man at the time, and I would meet at Dave's house, and we would run 2 times around the VA and back to Dave's house. So every day we only ran 4 miles. So in the summer, we were only running about 26, 30 miles a week to get ready for the city meet. So I don't know what's better, big mileage in the summer or not a lot of mileage in the summer.
But that summer before the cross-country season, 73, we went to that camp, right?
Yeah.
And so we went to some kind of road running camp.
Rialto Road
Running Camp. And Richard was there, me, Gerardo Conchola, who ended up being second in the championship meet. Richard
Alan
was
Dunn.
first. Alan Dunn, my brother Mike was running, and some other guys. And that was fantastic because for a week or two, we were doing some pretty heavy mileage up in the mountains.
Yeah, we were running 3 times a day.
Yeah, and that really put us, we knew we had a shot at the championship in 73 as seniors, and so we wanted to make the best of it. And so I don't think we consulted with Coach about that, we just did it. And, and we showed up in pretty good shape, I think, at the beginning of the season in 73, and then we had an undefeated season, dual meet season,
Right.
and then all the league meet, the semifinals, the finals. So it was really quite amazing to have that undefeated season.
So every race that season, I won, except for one, and Dave beat me.
Yeah, he let me win. That's what he told me.
I don't think I let you.
So I'll add something about after high school. My arch rival in high school was David Babaraki from Granada. Beat me every race except city finals. I nudged him out, and he pissed off about that. Afterwards, over the summer, we trained together under Laszlo Tabori at Valley College. We really trained well. I was doing 150 miles a week.
Wow.
I went off to Stanford, and I made varsity cross country in my freshman year there after that summer. And I did like a 4:15, 4:12 in a workout at Valley College that summer.
Wow. That's crazy.
So we ran our asses. 150 miles a week. We were going tough. And it was great funning with Dave because he was tough as nails. I mean, we egged each other on. It was great.
Well, an average day during fall was what's called fall track, and those were only the guys who didn't do another sport during the fall. So we were sprinters and high jumpers and hurdlers. Most of the sprinters played football. I was a hurdler, so we'd meet with the cross-country team and we'd stretch out. We'd run up Woodley Hill, we'd have to touch the gate and run back, and then we would climb stairs over and over again and then do our sprint workouts while the football coaches made sure we did what we did. And then after they left, we just hung out on the field and played football and had a great time. It was great. And, track workouts were hard. We just sprinted the whole time. We did warm-ups just like they're doing here. We did wind sprints, and then we had a whole workout for hurdles that just went off for a long time. And if we had false started at any time, they would tack a 440 onto it at the end of practice. And nobody wanted to do that. One time we were screwing around and we false started about a mile and a half worth, and so the coach made us run it. And I just remember throwing up. I've never run sprints before, so that's what it was like. I made great friends. Really had great memories of that. It was a great deal for me.
I don't know if my favorite memory, but my most memorable memory. Remember Dave Babaraki?
Oh, Dave Babaraki.
We were out by the pigsties, and he was leading, and I was in second place with 2 of his buddies. And they came up to me from both sides and jabbed me in the chest with their elbows. I went like this. They somersaulted, They tackled Dean Byers, and everyone behind them tackled each other. Dave and I were the only ones who finished the race. Both teams were disqualified. They admonished Coach Balzarette, who came to us and said, "Never again." Pretty memorable. Okay, I don't know about favorite, but memorable. So we were the only race that was disqualified for grumbling in the history of LA City School District's tournament.
Oh man, I don't know. The entire experience, I think, was really great. But the best thing I remember was a story that was told to me. So, David showed you the poster where at the city cross country meet, I finished first. Gerardo Canchola from Van Nuys High finished second. David finished third. So Gerardo was like my arch nemesis in high school, and I was in that guy's head so bad it was hilarious. He never beat me except for one time here our senior year, and I was recovering from a stress fracture in my foot. But in the 11th grade, my PR for the mile was like right at 4:21, 4:20.8, and in the 11th grade I got invited to run in the seeded mile at the Arcadia Invitational during track season. And that was like the hot spring meet to go to, that and the Mount Sac relays. But I got invited to run the mile. I finished fourth in the mile and ran 4:13.7. So I'm totally out of my skull. So back in the day we had the Valley News Green Sheet, which was the newspaper, and they would always publish all the high school football scores and track and cross country scores, all the high school athletic events. And on the Sunday morning, Laszlo was having a workout out at Valley. Gerardo and the Van Nuys guys trained with Laszlo Tabori. And Laszlo was the third man in history to break 4 minutes in the mile, so he was like God, So they carpooled to this meet, and Gerardo was the last guy that they would always pick up. And so somebody cut the headline out of the sports page that says Nance runs 4:13.7 at Arcadia, and taped it on the radio, because the first thing Gerardo would do when he jumped in the car was change the radio station. So he'd get in the back seat and reach forward between the seats to change the station, and he reached forward, saw that, sat back, and didn't say another word the whole rest of the day.
I was supposed to go to high school at San Fernando High. I grew up in Pacoima, and I transferred out here to Monroe, and it wasn't a very popular thing to do in my neighborhood. So the first time we ran against San Fernando, it was at San Fernando, and my friends there, some of them were also hurdlers, and it was time to settle some scores. And so I remember going over the hurdles, and I led with my left foot, and the first time we go over the hurdles, man, just elbows flew. Caught back up to those guys, and we were going over at the same time. We were hitting each other and stuff. My friend spiked me. I still got the scar on my leg.
Oh my God.
And we came through at the end of it, and after that, it was like we were all friends again. It was good.
Oh, okay. And they were all like 2 or 3 years apart.
They still run. They stay in shape.
Hey, Angel, I think you probably can run longer than you.